everyone, welcome. I'm Diane Gutierrez and this is my scrapbooking YouTube channel. Have you ever found inspiration that you wanted to try in your scrapbook? A new page layout, a new border idea, but then when you look at it, you're not even sure how they did it or where to begin. Well, that's where Try It Tuesday comes into play. Every 2 weeks, I scour the Creative Memories sites, their Facebook pages, their website, and of course, the Creative Memories blog. And I find the inspiration out there and I'll walk you through it. I'll give you measurements, product information, and helpful tips. So I'm glad that you're here and let's see what I have in store for you today. So I'm going to pop on the screen what I found for today's video. Here it is. I loved these borders. The minute I saw this come through, I just knew I had to do this border at some point. These borders are just fun and lively, and I also really do love the Showtime collection. Which border did I decide on? Well, this one right here. I love it because it's a side border. Put it on the one side and you can have the full page and the next page to put your photos on. So what I love about this border is that it's a side border, which then opens up our page to allow plenty of photos and journaling and embellishment to be placed on our page. And there's also a really fun technique that I'll show you to get the fan border to go around the circle. Okay, so back at my desk, I'll show you some of the tools and paper that I'm going to use in case you want to pause the video and go gather your supplies. So I'm going to be using the Showtime collection today, but keep in mind that these ideas could really be used with any paper collection and any embellishments, okay? So let your imagination run wild. But I'm going to use the Showtime Designer Paper Pack today, and I'm going to be using this gold fan paper, the chevron navy blue paper, and this green fan paper. I'll also be bringing in my small circle cutter and all 3 blades and my Creative Memories mat, as well as our border making system with the double fan punch and my basic tools, scissors and adhesive, but I'll also be bringing in the embellishments from this collection as well and the beautiful rhinestones. Okay, let me clear this off and we'll get started. Okay, so we're back, and the first thing is that we want to punch out using this gold fan paper. We want to use our double fan chain border cartridge, and we want to punch out 4 of these. Okay, we slide it in. You can hear it lock, but you can also feel it. Now I've noticed with this double chain cartridge, I have to start at the bottom. When I start at the top, I seem to get a little bit of a tangle. So I start at the bottom, I line up the 2 nodules, make sure it's pressed into place, and then punch down. Continue going up and make your 6 cuts. And there we go. Okay. So I'm going to do 3 more of these. I'll put you on fast forward and I'll be right back. Okay, we have our 4 border strips punched out from our double fan cartridge. And while I was away, were you asking yourself, why does she need 4 of them? It looks like there's only 2 going down each side. Well, that is correct. There's 2 going down each side, but then we need 2 additional ones for the circle that we're going to make. Okay, so let's just slide those aside for a moment. We're done with our border maker, so we're going to put that away, and we're going to bring in our 12-inch trimmer. First thing, we're going to bring in the emerald green feathered paper, and for this one we're going to cut a 2-inch border. Now this one I love. The other side I already know it has different camera icons on the back, but it's not a directional piece, so we're going to be okay. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we want to bring in this blue navy chevron paper. Now this one, if you look at the inspiration, we want to have our chevrons facing upward, okay? If you prefer them facing down, then that's okay as well. I do want to do mine like the inspiration, so I will point the chevrons going up. Now I'm going to make this cut a 1 3/4 of an inch. So this one's going to be smaller than our green one because it's going to lay on top of the green one. Okay, so 1 3/4 inch. And there we go. Going to bring in our small circle from our custom cutting system. And we're going to need all 3 blades for this project. Okay, move those aside for a minute. And we're going to bring in back in all 3 of the pattern papers we just used. So we'll first start with the yellow fans. And this one we're going to use the red blade on the outside. You'll see there that I have to give it a little trim. That's why I did not release my pressure that I had on the template until I made sure it was all cut away. Okay, we're done with the yellow. Put that aside. Then we'll bring back in the green. Now put our red blade over here because we're done with that. And for this green paper, we will be using the green blade. The green blade is in the middle as far as size between the red and the blue. So you see we're just making it so that we can stack them on top of each other. I'm checking here to make sure I have enough clearance on both sides, and I do want to scoot it up just a tad like that. Okay, press down, and then you make sure the grooves, the 2 feet are in the track, and you just cut around. Okay, well, I still missed a cut, so I'm just going to get my scissors and give that a little snip. And put the green one aside. Okay, we need 1 more, so we'll bring back in our blue chevron, and this time we'll be using the blue blade. Let's see, and there we go. Okay, so it's time to do some assembly. I'm going to bring in my repositional tape. I'm just going to give it a little bit on each one. And just stack them up, leaving yourself a little bit of an edge all the way around. And let's do it, stack it one more time. These, doesn't matter really the direction that you're going for those 2 bottom ones because you're not going to see a whole lot of it anyway. Okay, so let's also get these adhered. Okay, so the blue one's going to go on top of the green one. Okay, let's line it up. I'm going to move it, put it all the way to the edge, leaving about the same distance on each side. And now we're going to add 2 of the double fan punch outs that we made earlier. So I'm going to flip over my border, flip these over as well. And my idea is just to put, okay, and I'm just going to run some repositional down the length of the border. And then I'm going to just adhere it, just place it down. And you have to decide how much of the fan piece you want to be showing. Again, that's why we used our repositionable adhesive, so that if you want to adjust it when you're done, you can certainly do that. But I'm happy with the way that that came out, so I'm going to do the other side. And there we go. Very, very delicate and fancy looking, right? Okay, so that alone would make a beautiful border, but our goal today is to add this. So let's talk about how are we going to get these strips onto this circle. First thing we need to do is turn it over, and you want to snip between each one of the fans But you don't want to snip all the way up. You just want to give it a little slice. So I'm going to go about halfway up and just snip it. Let me show you on the other side. Might be easier to see. Just going to go about halfway up, and so I'm being careful not to snip all the way through, but if you did, then that's okay. I'll show you on the other piece actually what we can do if we accidentally snipped off one of these cute little fans. But we're just snipping it, and this is what's going to allow it to bend and move around the circle. Okay. Now we didn't really need the whole 12 inches of this. It was just easier to cut out while we were going, and the directions online did state to cut that out, but we're only going to need a few of those. So I'm going to go ahead and snip all the way through, because I said I wanted to show you what we would do if that happened. So let's say we accidentally clipped off 2 of those, and let's see, we might actually keep this handy. We might need to come back to that. Okay, so we're going to take our repositional, and we're going to go to we're turning our circle over, okay, and we want to go right to the edge and place adhesive all the way around, as close to the edge as you can get. Okay. I have to feel it because it's kind of hard to see on that dark paper. Now we take our yellow and we turn that upside down, and you're going to place it same thing that we did over here. We want to kind of estimate how much of the fan do we want to see. And now that we've snipped it, we can kind of give it a little bit of a turn, press it down, and then continue. Give it a little bit of a turn, press it down, and continue. Let me hold it up here so you can see it. So instead of it being a straight chain, I'm just giving it a little bit of a turn. Let me pull that one up a bit. I'm just giving it a little bit of a turn, and then I'm pressing that down. Okay. Give it a little bit of a turn. Let's see here. Let's make sure I get this in frame. And then I find where I want to place it, and you just press it down. So even if there's a little bit of a crease there, you press it down. That's why we put the slits there, to help us be able to bend it all the way around. Okay, some of them fall right into place. Others might just need a little bit of guidance. Okay, press it down. Oh, that one I want it to come up a little bit. I could tell that it wasn't flush the same as the other ones. Okay, so let me see if I could put this back down here. As I'm finishing up, I'll zoom in for you so that we can get a better bird's eye view. Okay, so I'm turning it, and then I'm holding it and pushing it down. And pushing it down. And if you don't like it, then you can bring it back up and redo it. Turning it, pushing it down. Don't forget to turn your circle at the same time as you go along as well. Okay, pushing it down. Last one. Turn it. Push it down. Okay, so I still have a little bit left here. I could do the same thing. I could snip these and just use what I need. But this is what I wanted to show you. So if you accidentally clipped off a few, it's okay. You just bring it back up here. Try and give it the same amount of space between these two that you see over here. And then give it a press down. Let's do one more. Okay, you put this one. Now I'm going to need just one more clip. The back side of that paper is very nice too, isn't it? It's sparkly. It's supposed to be the gems, like the rhinestone gems, and it's just, it really looks sparkly, especially in the camera. Okay, so last one, I'm just going to overlap it and press it down. Okay, now for the big reveal, let's turn it over and let's see. That's pretty cool. Let me zoom back out. Okay, Slide this back in so we can see. Remove my mat, we're done with it. Okay, so this is a pretty large circle. In fact, let's go ahead and measure it. It is about, if I bring it right to circle, it's 5 inches. So that's a pretty large border. For me personally, it's great for pages if you need to take up that much real estate on your page, but this is probably all I would add to the page. I probably wouldn't try and add a lot more to it. So this is probably going to be it for me. So let's go ahead and adhere it. Now you can decide, do you want it toward the top, in the middle, or toward the bottom? So it all depends on the photos that you're going to use, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and put a little bit of adhesive right there in the middle. And let's take a look at our embellishments. Now I did print a couple of these stars on my Cricut because I had already used this embellishment and I wanted to make this as true as I could to the inspiration from the blog. So I printed 2, and I printed one at 2 inches and one at 2 1/4 inches, and I wasn't sure which one I would want to use. So now that I'm seeing them and I'm seeing the size of my border so far, I'm gonna go with the bigger one. So I kind of measured it based off of the embellishment that originally came with it. I used it on a different page. I just went back to that page, found it, and measured it, and it was 2 1/4. So if you're wondering how I printed this on my Cricut, I do have a video explaining how to print and cut using Creative Memories Digital Art. And I will link that right up here in the corner for you. Once you're done watching this video, go back and take a look. If you purchase the digital art kits or you're interested in it, hopefully that video will help you out on how I did that. So they have it placed right about there. And then they used there's a few words that came in this embellishment pack. One that says laugh, one that says celebrate, and one that says together. You can really use any of those, whichever one you would like. But I am going to keep it to the to our inspiration. They have it going something like this. Okay, then the camera, which I popped up on a little bit of foam tape. Let's turn it a little bit like that. Okay, the camera will go just like that, so that you can still see the word laugh. There we go. It's very cute. It's very, very cute. The last thing that we want to add is a few of these rhinestones. And this might be a good opportunity to use the bigger ones because we have a bigger border here. So let's see if we like that. We're going to take them off. I like to use my all-purpose tool. One will go right here, a blue one, and I'm losing some of these. I think it's just very warm in my room today. And I'm also going to use this purple one, and that's going to go here. So of course I am going to put it in 3s just like they did, and then a gold one, just like that. Okay, let me move everything out of the way so you can look at that. It's very, very cute. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I hope you guys do too. Let me grab a piece of paper and I'll show you what we can do as far as a layout. Okay, well, I grab my paper. If you're liking this video so far, please go ahead and click that like button. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Grab the star paper out of the Showtime Tone on Tone paper. Thought this might be a good match. Let's see. And then I would do something like this where I would lay my border on like that. Now I'm going to pop it off just so I can show you an example. Let's say you wanted to scoot your border as far to the edge as possible just to allow more real estate over here for photos. Well, then you can have this hanging off the side, and you can decide if you want to overlap the ruffles over here or not. But so that's what I'm looking at right now. You can put it down right there. You can slide it up to the middle, or you can put it at the top. I'm going to go put it back in the middle like it was, and let me pull out my photo mats. So with this border the way it is, we can probably get 2 photos for sure, 2 4x6 photos here. And then if you really wanted to, you can probably get some more photos at the top. A 3.5 would be too big. In fact, I would probably even go maybe like you can do a 2.5 by a 3.5, and then maybe do 2 like that. Okay, so that's pretty cute. It could still hold quite a few photos. You can even get more if you were willing to do some staggering, because now maybe that 3.5 would fit. If you had some verticals, you can maybe turn them, maybe even overlap if you wanted to. I'm not sure I would do that. I probably would stick to a few less photos, but you could get another size in here instead of the 2 of these, and you can even turn it vertical if you wanted to. So I do really think that the possibilities are endless with this, and I just absolutely love that border. It wasn't too difficult. I think the hardest thing, of course, was making that circle around, but it would just take a little bit of time, and clipping it is what is the tip there to get that to make a circle. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode of Try It Tuesday. If you want to see some other Try It Tuesdays that I've done, I will link the playlist at the end of this video, so feel free to go over there and spend some time looking around. Also, if you want to see the other border, this one right here, I will be putting that one up on my Facebook page tomorrow. In our episode that we call Workshop Wednesday, I'll be putting that one together, and I'll be giving you the measurements for that as well. The link to my Facebook page is down below in the description, so if you're interested, please click on over and see what we got going on over there. Okay? Well, until next time, thank you for joining me, and have a great day. Bye-bye.